What's up, family? Happy Wednesday. It's October 18th, 2023, and I'm continuing the live stream combo. Just feels good to live stream now more often. So I'm gonna do another Ask Me Anything today, all about dating and relationships and the masculine and feminine dance. So I'd love for y'all to join and let's get some of these questions answered and start some good discussions. Yesterday we had some great ones. And yeah, if you're watching this video later on, you're watching the replay, just type in replay down in the comments, share your thoughts, share a comment, tag someone if you're loving the discussion here, or share the video if you really like it. So I'm gonna set up both streams right now. And I know we had some really good questions yesterday. I might actually go back to some of them because they need some more touch. So yeah, if you're on the live and you can hear me, just let me know in the comments that it's all Gucci and you can hear my voice. Audio's good, even with the music. So if you can hear me, just type in the comments. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know where you're tuning in from. If you want to share a question or just say hi, please do. Alrighty. I love this track. Some super chill post-rock. This is All Them Witches. This is basically what I listen to on repeat when I'm in thinking mode or chill mode. Alright, getting both streams set up, and Katarina, hearing you well. Great. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, if you're watching live, I see there's like 7 people here. If you just want to type where you are in the world so I know, so we can get our global family synced up. Alrighty, got the streams up. It's time to dive in. Just waiting for a few more people to join. So I will share quickly for those that are here. Next Tuesday, I'm doing the first deep dive masterclass in a while, which is going to be a skillful way to call in the one. So this is going to be the good stuff for people that are single, you're celibate, you're holding the line for the one, you really want to go super deep. You want partnership, you want commitment, you want depth, you want divine union. You know, you're not settling for fast food dating, you're not swiping, you're not, into hookup culture. This is the class for you. We're going in. So that's going to be exciting. I'll drop the link to that here in the video. And yeah, people on Instagram, welcome. We're gonna go into another AMA today, Ask Me Anything. So if you can hear me on Instagram, just type in where you are in the world, say hi. If you got any questions already, or you want to follow up on something we talked about yesterday, or you want to dive in and talk about anything dating or relating, shoot. Um, so yeah, I'm just gonna go straight into what we talked about yesterday and follow up with it. There's some really good angles here that I think some of you will appreciate. Um, so basically, yesterday we had a woman who's actually just signed up to coach with me. Um, ask about basically how old, like, does a woman become less attractive or less fertile in like sexual market dynamics or values on the dating market to men, which I think this is a very fascinating topic, and there's obviously a lot to unpack here. But let's go into this quickly, because some people were confused, or they were like, you know, they have their own opinion about this, which of course you should, because you have your own life experience of this. We got Long Beach, Hawaii, or Long Beach, probably California, Long Beach High, and Dublin in the house. Amazing. Got SoCal and Ireland in the house. Love it. If you can hear me and see me, and you're watching the video and you haven't commented, please do. I also get it if you just want to hang out and not share at all. Totally free to do so. But anyway, this idea of sexual market value, right, or sexual market dynamics. So, you know, this is a contentious topic, but there's something to be said for it, right? So there's an idea that the sexual market value is largely biologically based, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of this is in the red pill and pickup community, but, you know, they don't have free reign of this. This is studied in biology, and this is studied in mating dynamics across species. Obviously, it still applies to humans, and there's still statistics on this. Now, that doesn't mean that this is going to be your experience, or like it's bad or wrong to have preferences and standards while dating. But it's important to understand this, right? So this is really fascinating. Women, you know, theoretically have the upper hand. I mean, this is contentious language, but just walk with me here for teaching's sake. And this is from the perception of fertility and attractiveness for men and women. So this is not just the perception of the male, Sandra, but that's a good question. So women early in their life, when they have peak fertility, so age 18 to 25, you know, this varies obviously among, you know, your health and genetics and all the things, lifestyle. But women are the most attractive during that phase biologically. So this is like subconsciously for a lot of men, they're just more attracted to younger women because physically and pheromonally and biologically, that's when they're the most fertile. You know, again, statistically, healthy woman can be fertile well past her 40s. So again, this is not the exceptions. This is generalization, but just walk with me here. So women from 18 to 25 are going to have the most fertility markers, right? Now, men, for like selection, sexual selection, and I know this is a little scientific, but you got to understand, like, this is where I personally came from and studied, you know, when I was, you know, in university studying psychology and evolutionary psychology and mating and dating, which then led to my journey into spirituality and tantra and coaching. Like, it's important to actually have both sides, I think. Men have the upper hand later in life because women select men not for fertility, but for status and their place in the hierarchy, which obviously involves their body and physicality too, but also their social network and status, their financial network, and their leadership qualities. So men actually peak later statistically. So this is fascinating. This is also why you often get older men dating younger women, right? Classic cliche. This is also why young men will have to compete for the attention or being able to date or mate with the highest value women who are the highest value women, and this is the idea of hypergamy, right? Which is that women will date across or up the hierarchy of people, you know. And again, you know, take this all with a grain of salt, obviously. So younger men, early in their life and early in their career, um, may be super physically fit, you know, obviously extremely healthy, strong, fertile, you know, masculine, but they will be outcompeted in the dating market theoretically by men that are older and more established financially and socially for many, many, many reasons. A lot of this has to do with paternity. A lot of this has to do with, um, you know, mating and dating in terms of reproduction and survival. So this stuff's fascinating. You know, I don't often go into this stuff because it is very triggering for some people to hear because they have this idea that, you know, yeah, the fantasies or maybe the some of the fairy tale energy that Disney and programming and also like feminism and patriarchy, the negative side, have instilled into us. But to bring it full circle, this was a question from a woman last stream about being older, a woman in her mid 30s. Is she still attractive and can she still, you know, have an amazing partner and mate? And the answer is 100% yes. And the reason is everything I just said about the sexual market value and dating only applies if you are completely unconscious. Conscious men and women are going to choose differently. And most conscious men are men of like high quality that are working on themselves, that are, you know, involved in men's work, involved in like bettering themselves, doing the work, getting support, you know, have a therapist, want to be healthy, want to be vital. They're way more attracted to a woman who's embodying radiant feminine energy, aka in her body, loves herself, takes care of herself, extremely healthy energetically and emotionally, not just physically looking like a movie model. Those men will be much more attracted to her regardless of age. So that's where this whole theory gets flipped on its head. And that's why, you know, worked with clients in their 40s, 50s, and 60s who have dated what they would deem, you know, 8, 9s, and 10s, you know, to use the rating scale, and successfully had compatible, loving relationships and eventually, you know, even partnerships because of this fact. It's not about age. It never has been. Age gives us some guidelines and some themes, some trends that are worth understanding and paying attention to, but in no way does age have the final say on dating or mating. So this is very important to understand. So if you guys are watching, this is an Ask Me Anything. So if you have questions, type them in. Otherwise, I'll just rant here. If you have a specific question or a nuanced question, please do type it in. And this is the thing, like, even if you know, Sandra, you're asking, Soul Awakening Sandra, welcome back. I think you were here yesterday. You're asking, well, is this from the perception of the male? And no, this is from the perception of the survival instincts and biology and the data that we have and have studied on that. So this is the thing. You can be super conscious, you know, doing your yoga, eating organic, doing your inner work, doing your healing, you know, being connected with nature and your community. And still, these dating dynamics that are deep in the hindbrain and like coded in your DNA will play out. And the important thing is just to understand that they're there and the preferences that we have based on fertility and basically successfully continuing the species, which means we want to have more babies. So we have certain preferences in dating that are unconscious. Once you understand all this, and when it comes up or you feel yourself attracted to someone that you're confused, or you're confused why this man chose you over someone else, or you chose, you know, this stuff's really helpful. It doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. It doesn't mean you're fucked up or hurt or anything's bad. It's just this is what's playing out. So it's super valuable to understand it and just look at it. In my life, it's given me, and my work, in my coaching, it's given huge elucidation and clarity in situations that rationally you're like, this doesn't make sense, or even emotionally you're like, I don't understand why this is happening. Well, there's reasons why. This is the value of science and data and collection of, you know, these trends and patterns. So I see a lot of people on Instagram. We got almost 11 now. We got 7 over on Facebook. I'd love for you to share questions if you have them, or comment on what I'm sharing about. I'd love for you to share more. So Sandra has another one. These dating dynamics may be from old stories or dogmas. So yes and no. So again, a lot of this stuff is biological. Okay, so now you could say, yeah, biology and science is a dogma itself, which it is. Um, but if that were true, if it was a dogma or a story, we wouldn't see it across almost all species. Now, obviously, we're not like a chimpanzee or a mockingbird, but there's a lot of trends there that biology and most animals, there are animals that are asexual that just bud and like grow from themselves, like some fungus and single cell organisms, but most animals have a male and a female in the species, and there's sexual selection. So on that level, no, there's no story or dogma. There's just trends that you can observe in nature. And again, if you're curious about this stuff, I can send you studies and research portals to go into that are pretty good at being unbiased. Obviously some of them are biased. Now the stories and dogma around who should date who and attraction is mysterious. So this is the thing. And obviously when you meet a man, if you're a woman dating and you meet a man and you desire partnership and love, yeah, both of you are going to have your own stories and dogmas about dating and the masculine and feminine dance, and you're going to have to dismantle those in real time to actually meet in truth and in love. So that's kind of like what's most interesting to me when I work with a client, is what are their personal stories about dating. I mean, I'll share some common ones that break my heart. There's no good men out there. All men are fucking they just want sex, or they just want this, and they don't want to commit, blah, blah, blah. A lot of men have the story. There's no feminine women out there. All these women have been brainwashed by feminism, or they are, they're not receptive. They want to hustle, and they have exacting standards, or they feel entitled, and it doesn't feel good for me to want to date them. There's a lot of confusion in the field, y'all. This is why I feel inspired, and it's like my duty to teach this stuff and do this work, and is why I pivoted a lot of my business towards relationships, because I mean, it was one of my like messes that I made into my message, and B, world fucking needs it right now, maybe more than ever. It's wild, the stories I hear from people behind the scenes about what the reality of dating, sexuality, marriage, divorce, child rearing, dating apps is for people, their experience. Breaks my heart, some of that stuff. There's also a lot of inspiration, because people are just reclaiming their power, and they're going to stop putting up with bullshit, and they're going to stop believing false stories and narratives about masculine and feminine dynamics. So yeah, Sandra, I'm curious if you have a follow-up question to that, or you want to be more specific. Because you're right, there's dating dynamics that are stories and dogmas, but then there's biological dynamics that are behaviors. They're not actually stories. You can just observe them, which is fascinating to me as a scientist and philosopher. I love this stuff. So yeah, we got Katerina on the stream on Facebook. Thanks for being here. Tana says age, continuance of the species, and then spiritual progression, compatibility goes through phases. There are always the individual priorities. Totally. All of these things can be true at once, by the way. Like, it's not that like, okay, like the species must continue, so biology is, hardwired us. God has hardwired us, you could say, with preferences. But also spiritual, progression, individual priorities also can exist with that. That's the thing about love. It's mysterious. Like, who you love, who you have babies with, it's not random. There's a deep mystery to it. That's the beauty to all this. There's a deep mystery to who you're attracted to and why, and like who you actually end up creating life with. It's not random, y'all. It's one of the most beautiful mysteries of being human, actually, I think. So yeah, anyone else? You know, there's almost 20 people hanging out right now. A lot of you are just kicking back, which is cool. You can just kick back and listen. Be a lot cooler though if you at least said hi in the chat, and at least said, you know, one thing you're grateful for today. It can be one word. Miss Jordan in the house. Keep coming on during my lunch hour. What's up? Sandra, it's all about having babies? No, it's not. It's all about love and connection ultimately. But from biology's point of view, if we didn't choose partners and form bonds to create more babies, we would have died out a long time ago. So from that lens, yes, like your preferences, your attraction, your, you know, lust, your focus in dating is driven by your, like, literal your brain, your nervous system, through procreation and fertility. There's a lot of that there. And Sandra, if you're curious about this or just want to like do a little reading, just Google sexual selection or Google evolutionary psychology of dating for humans. Dr. David Buss, who was my professor at UT, he's now been on Joe Rogan, has fascinating work on this that will blow your mind. And again, some of this stuff is very triggering because a lot of people, not saying this is you, but a lot of people I know, including myself in the past, thought that there was something special and magical about, which there is, about dating and relationships and sexuality, and that, you know, we can completely choose anything, but it's like there are hardwired preferences and patterns. And once you understand them, it gives so much more freedom and beauty to like see the perfect design. I don't think we just randomly evolved from monkeys and learned how to talk. There's a perfect divine design to everything, including your preferences in dating and the urge for the species to continue itself. And you could argue, yeah, it is all about having babies, because what are we doing? We're creating the future for the next generation. So actually the answer to your question, Sandra, ultimately on one level is yes. Miss Jordan, grateful to live on the ocean. Oh, I miss the ocean. It's the only thing. Austin is literally the best place in the world for many reasons. Obviously I'm biased because I'm from Texas, but the only thing I miss is the ocean, which obviously Texas has a coast. I just need to drive a few hours. All right, y'all. I'm fired up. Loving this. What else y'all got? What else y'all got? Share it. Questions, comments, insights. Tell me I'm wrong. Like, you can totally say everything I've said in the past 30 minutes is bullshit. But you need to then make your claim and statement with evidence of why it is bullshit or what you believe. JJTNS says, grateful for my new home. Amazing. Soul Awakening with Sandra. I'm biased to Cali. Yeah, I get it. I lived in California for years and I loved it. One of my favorite places in the world. Starlight. Feminine creating isn't only about childbearing though. Many things we can create. 100%. Feminine energy is pure creative energy. That's the beauty of it. So you're absolutely right. Women can create a whole lot more than children. They can create a home. They can make art. They can make beauty. They can create literally anything. So you're absolutely right with that. Over on Facebook, Tana says, I love that. Paul says, realizing I have a natural drive to give others the things I want. Yeah, curious about that. What does that look like for you? Like what are you giving away that you want? Aaron James, welcome. I've decided to not date or sleep with anyone who I wouldn't want to be in a long-term partnership with. That's a great rule. I also used to use that rule. That is a great rule. How can I deal with, Facebook is super annoying. How can I deal with yearning or wanting to receive gifts and the love of the feminine, but wanting to honor my choice of only choosing a potential long-term partner? These women don't come into my life that often. Well, and that's the thing. Like, if you're committed to that, Aaron, like a courtship kind of mentality, then you need to be in practice and own that desire. And that means you're only going to be around women of that quality and interacting with women of that quality, which means, yeah, you will receive the gifts and love of the feminine in many ways through that. And also in community, you know, you can have sisters or aunties in the village that obviously are non-sexual, or you can also receive the gifts and love of the feminine. But if you feel like you're in scarcity, so this is the meta level here of the inner union. If you feel like you're in scarcity because you only want a potential long-term partner, how is your own heart and your own inner feminine doing? Are you in touch with that? Because if you feel like you need it from the outside, that could set you up for challenges. See it all the time with men I coach. This is a good one, though. This is a great question. Ginger B, hi, I'm grateful for our time and guidance and the man who's helping me stay afloat without expecting from me. Great. Love to hear that. Amazing, y'all. Thanks for coming out of the woodwork to actually comment on the video. It means a lot, y'all. And if you're loving this video, you know, share it out with someone or tag someone that you think is like, whoa, they could hear this. JJTNS, what if you pay for your man a lot? So what? How do you feel about it? That's the important thing. How do you feel if you're paying for your man a lot? How does that make you feel in your body, in your heart, in your womb? Can't answer that one for you. Or be more specific. What are you asking? Michelle, grateful for the feeling of aliveness today. Amazing. So grateful to be alive. Sandra, I like the science and biology through spirituality. Hey, here's the thing. Are science, biology, and spirituality actually different things? Think about that. Sandra, do you believe we are body and mind first, then spirit? No, I don't believe that. They're all happening simultaneously. They're all co-present. And again, here's a question. Are the body, the mind, and the spirit separate things? I don't think they are. JJ, I love it, but my friends keep saying I'm too generous. I love him for who he is, not how much he makes. Yeah, that's really beautiful. If it's working for y'all, that can work. A lot of men will want to be in provision, as in they will want to financially provide for their woman. That's a deep masculine instinct, and it can be super valuable. It can be super helpful and healing, and yeah, super deep stuff, y'all. The masculine desire to provide. Scott Howard in the house. What's up, Scott? Hey, thanks for that blessing, man. Appreciate it. Little super chat from Scott. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I actually went to high school with Scott. So yeah, if anyone has any questions, this isn't Ask Me Anything, so keep shooting. D Webb in the house, about to celebrate that man's birthday. We also got Christian Klausner, legendary astrologer, in the house. What's up, y'all? Grateful for y'all being here. Sandra, for me, they are wholeness, the law of one. Exactly. It's holistic. Thank you for allowing these questions. Yeah, anything's allowed. This isn't Ask Me Anything. You can ask me anything. I may not always answer it, but you can ask it. D Webb. D Webb with the blue check. Let's go. Did you get that officially or did you pay for it? Christian Klausner, what's up, brother? Been a long time. Strength camp, brother. Are alpacas androgynous? Some alpacas probably are. But I'm old school. I love me some good male and female alpacas owning their polarity. You love to see that. I personally love to see that. I know some other people, they like androgynous alpacas, and hey, to each their own. I think that's rad. D Webb, if y'all don't know, David Weber loves some alpacas. Never seen someone who loves alpacas more. Which makes sense because alpacas are awesome objectively. Emerald and beyond, when is the right time to talk about expectations in dating? First date. As soon as you meet. Like not immediately, but have a conversation, get to know each other, be open, and then share it. The sooner you share it, the clearer that dating experience is going to be. Before or after sex? Definitely before. Considering most men bond after sex. I mean, yeah, men bond through sexuality, for sure. Women also bond through sexuality, but women will open and bond more through the heart and an emotional bond in general. That means that if you're a woman, you need to share about your expectations and like your desires. What kind of relationship would you even want? What kind of dating container would you even want before sex? If you wait till after sex, hear it all the time with clients. This is when women are dancing with the fire of the abandonment, rejection wound, and just not being clear. If you had just asked, the man would have hopefully been honest and just said, yeah, I'm just looking for a hookup. I'm just looking for a casual lover, some fun. And he's honest about that. He's just owning that's what he wants right now. And then you would have known that and been able to make a sovereign choice. That's the power of sharing expectations before bed, for the bedroom. Got to do it. Christian, thoughts on dating apps? Dating apps are great if you use them with intention and discernment like a tool and you're very skilled with their use. So when I have a client come to me that's using dating apps, I go in and just audit the shit out of them. So you want professional photos, you want solid copy and bio that's very clear and succinct, concise. And the way you message and match on a dating app needs to have some rules or guidelines. So you can spend as little time on the dating app as possible with maximum effect to actually go on the kind of date or courtship experience that you actually desire. Instead of just swiping at 1 a.m. and feeding into the idea that dating apps are complete garbage, which they often can be. I'm not going to say they're not. Dating apps are training wheels for actually going out in person and meeting compatible people. Now, a lot of people say, and I hear this all the time in my group, if you're not in the Aligned Relationship Dojo, it's a private community I run. It's free to join, but you can go to that, the link in my bio. A lot of people complain, hey, there's no conscious people where I am. There's no conscious people I can date in my community. And I doubt that's true for most people. Now, it could be true. You live in the middle of nowhere. You're in a foreign country. You're in a small town. Maybe it's true. Then dating apps can be great because they'll expand your reach. The internet's a beautiful thing. Your smartphone's a beautiful thing. There's no excuse to not have access to amazing people and high quality partners in 2023. If you want it, and if you're willing to use the apps with some discretion. All right. Sandra, are these questions basically for male-female relationships? Yes. Also for a masculine-feminine relationship, which I would argue is every relationship, because masculine and feminine are energies. I've worked with trans people. I've worked with non-binary, bisexual people. Same dynamics apply. Man and man, woman and woman, non-binary and non-binary. Same dynamics apply. That being said, obviously, there's exceptions to the rule. What dating apps do you recommend? Hinge, Bumble, and Tinder are the ones I see the most success with. I know there's conscious dating apps, and there's a bunch of new ones coming out. I'm even having people, I have a friend, and I know a lot of people that are wanting to create new dating apps. If I see an app that I was obsessed with and I could promote it and get paid and actually understand it and vet it, I would be interested in that. So if you know a guy, shoot me a message. Ginger B, I have so many questions, I have no idea where to begin. Cool, just start with the first one that comes to your mind. Tana, what's the favorite thing a woman does that makes you feel alive? Expresses her emotion and her desires. Just expressing her energy. When a woman expresses her desires, just openly, not giving a fuck, owning them, one of the most attractive things to a man. Aaron, okay, thank you. Scott, when you've reached a cruising altitude in a relationship and that luster has worn off slightly, and we both know what to expect, what are some healthy things you can do during this part of the journey? Together for almost 3 years. Yeah, it's a great question, Scott. And basically, you know, you can keep the honeymoon phase going by leading it. So you as the man, as the masculine, can lead this by dating again. You also might need to take a polarity pause or a break. That doesn't mean like breaking up. It means you might need to sleep apart some nights, sleep in different beds if you live together. Do you have a men and women's community around you? So does she have women that she can hang out with, go on trips with, bond with? Do you have men you can do that with? And then you need to date again. You need to go out on dates. You need to go into shared experiences, go salsa dancing, go take a yoga class together, go do a massage, go camping, court her, go into experiences where both of you are in a new experience or at a growth edge. And you know, you can role play, you can create adventure dates with scavenger hunts and, you know, questions and interviews that are super sexy and, you know, edgy. All of that is going to help you bring back mystery. So you need mystery and spontaneity to bring back the eros and the luster, right? That's really the way to do it. And it's not easy because you have a lot of patterns. So you'd probably need help, you know, outside the relationship to break some of the patterns and the monotony that you might be feeling. It's a great question, though. I go deeply into this in my masterclass recording. So if you're not in the dojo, the Aligned Relationship Dojo, there's a ton of recordings pinned at the top of the group that like go into hours of ideas and theory and breakdown on this. Laura says, are there dating apps where you can find conscious people? Yeah, every dating app you can find conscious people. But yes, there are specific dating apps for the conscious community. I don't know a lot about them. What's up, Amir? Amir in the house. I don't know a lot about them. I've never used them. I hear people say they like them. But the thing is, because Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge tend to get the most users, you just have more options there. So even if you're on one of these conscious dating apps, I've heard some clients complain that there's not a lot going on, right? It's like Threads. Hey guys, Meta created a Twitter killer called Threads. Everybody join. And like the first week it blows up and then it dies. Nobody gives a shit. We already have Twitter. Anyway, that's kind of a tech philosophy thing about user bases. If you feel called, I would experiment with some of the conscious dating apps. Let's just Google and see what the top one is. Conscious dating app. If I just Google that, let's ask the algorithm here. Meet Mindful has the top spot through ads, of course. Meet Mindful has the top spot on Google. Conscious singles, unvaxxed singles. Meet Mindful, conscious dating, Mindful Zen, conscious dating network, wealthysinglemommy.com. You aligned. Interesting. So the best free dating apps, according to Google on this, are Tinder, eHarmony, OkCupid, and Coffee Meets Bagel. Coffee Meets Bagel is a terrible fucking name for an app or a website. Love to be a fly on the wall in that marketing meeting. What were they thinking? Makes no sense to me, y'all. Anyway, let's keep the questions coming, y'all. What do you got? What do y'all got? If you are liking this video, I'd love for you to tell me what you most love about the opposite sex? We'll use the same question from earlier. What do you love about women, men? Type it in the comments. This will be a fun social experiment. And women, what do you love about men? Men, what do you most love about women? Just in like one sentence, a few words. Yeah, you're welcome, Scott. Michelle, what are your thoughts on a question Jordan Bowditch, shout out to JMO, posted recently? What do you think about being active friends with an ex while in a relationship? Yeah, so I saw that post and I wholeheartedly agree with him. Now, there are exceptions. Here's the thing. A lot of people are like, yeah, I love my ex. We're best friends. Let's hang out. Like, okay, um, that's fine in theory, but in practice, it almost never works. Why? One member of the ex-lover relationship, so whether you were married or divorced or this was a lover of many years, or even like a one-night stand, and you're saying you want to be friends with them, well, guess what? I'd be willing to bet money one or both of those people are still attracted to each other, even on a subconscious level. The only time that a active friendship or companionship with an ex-partner is going to really work long-term is if they're co-parents, or if they're part of the same community and they're in a village together and they see each other a lot and they share a lot of goals and values and community things. That's when it can work, because there's accountability and there's a village dynamic. Let me just ask you this plainly. Answer honestly. You're dating a man as a woman, right? Women, ladies, you're dating a man. You're in love. Like, it's going deep. It's hot. It's like, oof, like your heart's beating. And then he, you're 6 to 12 months in, and he tells you, hey, I'm going to go get coffee one-on-one with my ex-girlfriend. She's super cool. Like, we're good friends. How do you feel about that? Just gut reaction. You already know how you feel. Maybe you're 100% okay with it. I doubt it. Same thing for a man. Beautiful woman, gorgeous, checks all your boxes. You're like, wow, I want a relationship with this woman. I'm committing to her, I'm claiming her, we're going deep. Hey babe, she comes to you, man. I'm gonna go have dinner with my ex-boyfriend. He's just such a good friend. I just love our conversation. He's not a threat. We're totally cool. Yeah, we're gonna go have dinner alone at this restaurant. I'll call you later. How do you feel? What does that bring up? This isn't about being jealous. It's not about being super conscious and like, well, I've removed jealousy from my life. None of that. It's just about respect. It's about respect and energy. That's what it's about. And obviously, Michelle, I assumed where you were going with this. And I think there's value here. So you're saying I'm still good friends with Chris. Love Chris. It's obviously where I met y'all. And my fiance Skylar thinks he's awesome. And we've got none of that going on, but Chris is such a nice person and goes out of his way to make Skylar feel comfortable. Bingo. And same for his girlfriend currently, Ayana. We've had double dates while in Bali and it was super fun. Yeah, so this is the thing. Like, in your situation, I think it's great and probably healthy. And I obviously I'm biased because I love you and Chris. I haven't met your partner, but I think I've met his partner right now. But anyway, that's the thing. Chris went out of his way to really help your fiance, man to man, feel comfortable. And there's respect there and there's brotherhood there. That's what'll make it different, right? And also, are you and Chris hanging out one-on-one a lot, right? Maybe, catch up. But there's subtleties there. So that's the thing, Michelle. I don't think Jordan's post is saying you shouldn't be friends with Chris, your ex, but it does bring up some interesting dynamics that I think a lot of people will resonate with and be curious about. So yeah, this is a great question. I'm really grateful for it. Let's see who else we got in here. If y'all are just joining, we're doing an AMA, Ask Me Anything, so please do share in the comments if you got any questions. Catherine Rose, what if you keep bumping into the same pattern of people, like in dating? You like the unavailable types and you're annoyed with neediness. I'm liking OkCupid now. Great. Glad you're liking it. Yeah, you'll keep running into the same type of person in dating until you learn the lesson and you do the subconscious work and healing to stop being a match for them. Not easy, but it can be done. And it's something I support clients with. What about being alone versus loneliness? So here's the thing, when you're alone, you're all one. Alone, all one. You can be alone in nature. Of course, first off, you're never alone. I don't know if you know this. You're never alone. There's a loving presence, which people have named God, around you at all times and in you. Now, when you're alone, you can be at peace and enjoy and rapture and awe. Like, go sit alone in the forest and tell me if you feel lonely. Loneliness is an internal state where we're feeling lack. We just want to feel connected. Maybe to ourselves. We might want to feel connected to ourselves. It's not even about other people. So if you're feeling lonely, I would journal, I would meditate, I would breathe, I would emotionally feel and release, and call a friend. Big difference between being alone and being lonely, y'all. Sandra, thank you, Kevin. Gotta go. Love and light. Cheers. Emerald, how often do you recommend meeting in a long distance relationship, living few hours away from each other? You know, that's up to you. How long has the relationship been going on? How deep is it? Is there commitment? Is there desire? I would say, you know, if it's a long distance relationship, so it's already been sealed and there's a relationship, and you're only a few hours away, like at least once a month is what I would imagine. Because if you're doing less than that, is it a relationship? And what's the primary way you're connecting? I'd have to know more information about that to really give my opinion. Sky, Earth, Wind. I love how men support me and inspire me and light me up. Amazing. Amazing to hear that. Emerald. I love when he leads and he's visionary. Amazing. Catherine. I love the way men are spontaneous and adventurous. I love it. Loves Harambe. Hey, R.I.P. Harambe. I love how women can see the inherent beauty of the world and color that perspective. Beautiful. Starlight, I love men's conscious presence. Amazing. Love Harambe. It brings up surrender. You can't control people or outcomes. 100%. That's true. And you can have strong preferences. And you can really hold the line for what you desire. That's the difference there. Scott, what kind of mic do you have? So this is a very simple mic. This is... wow, I don't even know if the brand name is on here. Yeah, I don't see the brand name. I don't remember. This might be Logitech. So this is a very basic, like $100 mic from Amazon. I'm gonna get a better one soon. But it gets the job done. I mean, you can hear my voice right now. I've got the gain like maybe 75%. I've got it turned out because I have Spotify going, but yeah, this is a super easy USB mic, plug and play on Mac. It's great. I've been using it for years. I've recorded podcasts on it, stream on it, all kinds of stuff. I am gonna get a better one though, soon. I want a like actual super legit, awesome mic that I can record like super high level audio with. Ginger, I'm talking to a man that I began communication with via a few Facebook comments. Now we're becoming acquainted through chats and phone calls. Kind-hearted, genuine. I'm nervous because I'm meeting him in person soon. I know sex is of interest. I'm not sure this will work long term, and I know he isn't either. Okay, so right away, you need to communicate all this to him. I'm a sea captain. I live on an island. That's awesome. He lives in my home state. I'm curious to explore, and he is too. Both a bit concerned about our distance. He has 4 kids going through a divorce. He can't move here. I'm still interested. I'm scared of what will happen if I bond. It's not practical for us. So everything you just shared, Ginger, you need to share with him. This is the thing. By being extremely honest and open with him, you're going to allow him to make a conscious decision and lead you. And also you have to choose whether you want the connection and where you want it to go. Like, what are your actual boundaries? What are your actual desires? Everything you said in that comment needs to be communicated. It's huge. It's a huge dynamic Just being truthful with someone. Save yourself so much time, save yourself so much heartache by being honest. These are all valid concerns you have. Laura says they've got unfinished business with the being friends with an ex. Yeah, probably. Michelle, thanks for letting me put you on the spot. Anytime. I thrive in the spot. The spot on the spot is my zone. How do I open up to a new man in a relationship? Well, first off, are you open to yourself? Are you open to yourself, Allison? Can you feel your feelings in real time? Are you in tune with your desires? Can you feel your body, your sensations? Is that flow like present for you? Because if it is, then you can choose to open up to a man, obviously with trust and safety being built. Ginger, if I may add, I think I can handle whatever direction this goes. I feel he will not handle it well if this doesn't work due to the stress he's under. Here's the thing, Ginger, you can't control how he's going to handle anything. You need to focus on what you're feeling and communicate the things, the desires and concerns, and then allow him to handle himself. Trust that he can handle himself if you can handle yourself, which I'm assuming you can. So all this stuff needs to be shared with him in a beautiful way, in a feminine way, which means not trying to teach him or coach him or like interview him, but just sharing, hey, this is where I'm at. This is how my heart feels right now. This is like use your feminine inspiration and sharing from a beauty place, a soft place, a receptive place. Watch how much that'll change how he responds to you and reacts to you. Watch how much that'll just bond the two of you. Allison, thank you. Ginger, I've expressed these things and so has he. Great. We've just decided to see how it unfolds. Sounds awesome. Think you're going to do great. All right, y'all. Well, I don't know how long I've been live now. About an hour. I'm going to take a few more questions. So if you got them, shoot them in the comments. If you're not in the Aligned Relationship Dojo, I highly recommend joining. It's my free community all around aligned relating and dating. So there's a lot of great questions and Q&As there. I am doing a masterclass next Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central. It's going to be a 2-hour deep dive, theory and practice of calling in the one, courtship skills, dating, energetics. I'm also going to laser coach a few people live, which will be super powerful, even for the people that are witnessing, and also do a Q&A. This is going to be a Zoom call. You got to sign up with your email. If you want the invite to that, just DM me right now the word Eros, E-R-O-S, Greek for love, Eros. So if you want the invite to that, it's also posted here in the group. Zaina, is there such a thing as a soulmate? I think so. That's been my experience. Now, what does a soulmate actually mean? And all like the spiritual jargon around soulmates. I wouldn't be so concerned about that. Just focus on how it feels. If you have a soulmate and you believe that you do, or you've experienced a relationship that is close to that in your approximation, you're going to feel compatibility and love and God, goddess's energy pumping through you. And there's power there. There's spiritual power there. There's real practical power there too. Because if you have a healthy relationship or marriage, it's going to make every part of your life better. Money, finances, health, wealth, friendships, performance. Everything will literally become better because of it. So that's really the power of it, y'all. This isn't just for like getting your rocks off. This is human peak performance. Sky, Earth, Wind. What do you do if you're in love with your best male friend and he keeps friend zoning? Thank you for your healing presence, Kevin. Thank you for being here. Really grateful that you're here. My answer to your question on friend zoning is respect yourself. Have respect for yourself. Love yourself. Grieve that connection. If your male best friend is not open to romance with you, and he's made that clear, okay, time to grieve, time to accept that. Maybe you need to like break the connection with him for a bit so you can really come back to yourself and reorient. And you need to be with sisters. You need to be with amazing women that can hear you and listen and support you. I would not hang out with him more and discuss this. You need to take space. If you actually wanted to keep a friendship connection, you need to take space. Just for a time. Thank you. Needed that. You're welcome. Dustin Wilkes. Will polarity be off if the woman makes more money than the man? Not necessarily. It could be if that is a imbalanced dynamic. Like with my partner right now, you know, there's seasons, like when we met, I was making way more than her because we're both coaches and entrepreneurs. So it's a bit of a roller coaster sometimes. And there's seasons where she's made more than me. So that's the thing. It's like in an ideal world, masculine provision isn't just about money. It's about consciousness, energy, attention, time, love, desire. And just your paycheck or salary or just the money isn't always the most important thing. So there's real medicine there for a lot of men and women or couples that are experiencing that. Now, most women behind closed doors, when I coach with them, when you get real down and dirty in a retreat and like truth is just being spoken, most women, the vast majority, want to be provided for financially, deep down. And that's instinct. That's not like, that's dogma. That's bullshit. That's just instinct. It's deep. Doesn't mean you have to do it. Doesn't mean it's right or wrong if you don't want it. Doesn't mean you need to change anything about the relationship per se. It just means just notice that. Get curious about that. Ginger, phone is dying. Thank you. Thanks for being here. I think I'm going to close out the stream, y'all. I do have 4 spots available for one-on-one coaching. So if you've been listening to my streams or my content and you're just like, fuck, like, I need this. Like, I need help dating right now, or I'm in a new relationship and I really want to understand these dynamics. You know, reach out. Send me a DM. Raise your hand. And let's get on a call. We can get on a free consult. We can just discuss, talk shop. You can tell your story. We can see where you're at. And if you're a good fit, you know, I'd love to have you in the one-on-one container I've created. I have one for women, one for men, one for couples. They all start at 6 weeks, although I do 3, 6, 12-month containers in coaching. But life is too short to not only just like date and love, but excel at dating, excel at love. It's an art form. You can practice, you can learn and love yourself and love another with like so much power, so much beauty and healing happens when you commit to that. I see it all the time. It's why I do what I do. It's why I feel so blessed in the relationship I'm in and all the relationships that have led up to this. It's why I love to love and I love teaching this. Because it's that important, y'all. You think that countries would want to genocide one another and people would hate and perpetuate histories of hate if everyone was fully loved and fully in love? Not a chance, y'all. This is not just about getting married and living happily ever after, or getting like love from people. This is about the consciousness of our species and humanity coming into right relationship with the future of the little ones, of the animals, the plants, and the earth. So we have to do this, guys. We have to learn to love, and we have to do better. And I know we are doing it. And I'm proud of me and proud of us for doing it, doing the work. If you love this video, tag someone in the comments. I'm so grateful for you, or share this video out with your community. I'm so grateful for y'all. If you have any questions I didn't get answered or you want to clarify, my inbox is open. And I hope y'all have a beautiful week, rest of your day, and keep going.